Here with the man who bats in the middle of the order, creates monster damage for the Baltimore Orioles, Chris Davis. How you doing, man? Going into 216 season. How you feeling?
Feel good. Feel good. I think my legs are starting to get under me a little bit right now. The club's starting to shape up, and I think guys are getting ready to head north.
Take me behind being a free agent. I know it ended up working out unbelievable. Oriole for life now, no doubt about that. But was there ever an inkling that maybe you weren't going to be back here?
Yeah, I mean it's a different process than I thought it was going to be. As a player, you always kind of look at the 6th year and you're like, man, I'm starting to get close to free agency, and you kind of start wondering. But for me and especially my family, we were excited to be back in Baltimore and to be there for the next 7 years. And it was just a process that wasn't as enjoyable at times that I thought it would be, but obviously the result was what we were looking for.
How much do you appreciate it, though? Because you're not a guy that it was handed to. You had to grind to get to this point, man. You've seen failure, you've been sent down, and then traded, and to move up to this point. How gratifying is that?
It was pretty special, and I think we talked about it a little bit earlier. I think a lot of the struggles that I had early on, the reason for that is. A lot of the reason for that are some of the guys in the clubhouse now. I can relate to those guys. I understand their struggles, but it's just kind of instilled a work ethic in me that it's almost OCD, I guess. I feel like I always have to work. So, I appreciate it. It was tough going through it, but I appreciate where I am now.
Going into this season, anything you've come down here and wanted to work on? I mean, obviously, if you're in the lineup every day and you're healthy, you're going to hit the homers.
Right.
Everyone makes a huge deal about the strikeouts.
Right.
But the walks went up too.
Right.
Is there something you've tried to concentrate on in spring?
Yeah, every year, it's the battle to see more pitches and just have better quality at bats. For me, I've kind of embraced the fact that I'm going to strike out. I don't want to go up there and be tentative. I want to let it eat. And I think just every year you come to camp and you kind of learn what your role is with the team. You see where the guys are. You see who you've brought in, who you have returning, and I think you just try to identify with those guys and find what role you're going to play to be a championship team.
It's funny, as we've done these tours, the American League East. I mean, you could put the 5 teams in a hat. Is that how you guys kind of feel going into it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I played in the AL West, which I thought was a tough division. And I always heard about the AL East, but it's just good baseball, and all the teams are right there close together, and I feel like it's always a dogfight, always down to the end, especially with the way the wild card's set up now. It's really anybody's game.
Well, if anybody, I got to ask you this, if anybody has the right to, we asked Poppy this the other day. I'm a man who's hit 50-plus homers, 47 homers. But you have a tendency to just lay the bat down, drop your head like, I'm tired of carrying this team.
I won't do it.
Well, you have a problem with the guys talking about bat flipping and the emotion of it?
I think there's a place for it. There's a time and a place. I mean, that's never been a part of my game. I played winter ball. I understand that part. I've seen the emotion, the passion, whatever you want to call it, and I appreciate that. I think you should be the player that you feel comfortable being. But I think you should also respect the player that you're playing against. And that's just kind of the way I was raised. I've tried some bat flips in the past. They didn't work out well for me. I either fired it in the ground or I, raked it off my shin. It's just not part of my game. I want the recognition and the credit to go to the team, my teammates, and I'm just trying to do my part.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've been doing this for the last month now. No one is in better shape and ready for 2016. Fresh, huge contract, but I know that's not what motivates you.
That's right.
You'll go to the post every day. Chris Davis, man.
Appreciate it, DeRosa.